Amber Heard rests defense case as Kate Moss expected to testify this week. Amber Heard's legal team has rested their defense case in the defamation trial brought against her by ex-husband John. Heard is being sued by Depp for $50 million for implying he abused her in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed. Although she didn't name him, he claims her allegations impacted his ability to work. She is pursuing a counterclaim of $100 million, of which a motion to dismiss was denied by Judge Penny Ozcarte on Tuesday morning. Supermodel and Depp ex Kate Moss will testify on Wednesday as a rebuttal witness for the actor. She is able to appear following Heard's mention of her during testimony referring to an alleged altercation between the couple in the 1990s. On Monday, the court heard from a hand surgeon who said he found Depp's account of the severed finger fight inconsistent with the injury and a psychiatrist who said the actor's behavior was consistent with a perpetrator of intimate partner violence. An entertainment industry expert testified she found the op-ed had no impact on Depp's career, but Heard's career had been impacted by approximately $50 million in lost. Cross-examination of Mr. Knight begins. Elaine Bredehoft accuses him of wanting to be part of the trial and being a big fan of Depp, which Mr. Knight denies to laughter from the court. She asks him about his response to a tweet about Hicksville from a pro-Depp Twitter account. Asked if Depp was drinking, he said he did not see him drink, but he appeared to be intoxicated as the night went on and his head would sway back and forth. Mr. Knight says he was formerly a barkeeper. He says Heard appeared to have been intoxicated when she was angry at Depp. Mr. Knight says he heard a commotion at one point that Heard and Depp's trailer, but everyone went to bed around 3 a.m. in the morning. Says the other staff told him there was damage in their trailer. He remembers the light sconce was broken and hanging from the wall, but that was all the damage in the trailer. He charged Depp's assistant's credit card for a replacement pair of sconces when he tracked them down on eBay. Mr. Knight recalls spending about 45 minutes to an hour in total, including a time when Depp spoke for a time with a co-worker who sang around the campfire. He says Heard appeared annoyed with Depp, but otherwise was having a good time with her friends around the campfire. At one point he recalls talking with Depp about Hicksville before Heard came over and said she wanted to talk to Depp. He says she was upset with him and was yelling at him. He says Depp was cowering and appeared almost afraid. Later Depp apologized to him and he observed that the actor had become much quieter and appeared less extrovert than earlier in the night. Explainer: what are the Waldman statements at the center of Heard's countersuit? Johnny Depp's bid to dismiss Amber Heard's countersuit against him was denied on Tuesday as the couple's defamation trial in his original suit neared its conclusion. Ms. Heard's $100 million countersuit centers around her claim that Mr. Depp defamed her in multiple statements to the press via his attorney Adam Waldman after she published the 2018 op-ed at the heart of Mr. Depp. In those statements, Mr. Waldman called Ms. Heard's allegations of domestic abuse a hoax and an ambush orchestrated by the Aquaman actor and her friends. Megan Sheets explains: Mr. Knight started the Hicksville Trailer Palace in 2009 and owned and operated it until 2002 when he sold it due to health issues. He recalls May 2013 when Depp and Heard came to stay. Mr. Knight recalls Depp being excited and complimentary and Heard being quiet as he gave them a tour. The couple had booked the whole trailer park. There were 10 to 12 people in the Depp-Heard group. He recalls a security guard and Heard's sister Whitney. The bar and fire pit are central to the property and the group spent most of the time there. New witness, Morgan Knight, former owner of Hicksville Trailer Palace. Mr. Knight is allowed to testify and is sworn in once the jury returns. New witness? Judge Ozcarte calls for a short break for jurors as the next witness, Morgan Knight, has to be asked whether he has seen anything of the trial as he did not know he was going to be a witness. The courtroom, in this case, appears to be the world, the judge tells both sides before performing voir dire on Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight says that approximately 5 weeks ago, a friend of his texted that the Hicksville Trailer Park, where he was working, was mentioned and he watched a short clip. He was contacted by Depp's attorneys and says that the description of the night at the Hicksville trailer park that has been mentioned was not how he recalled the incident and that the night was not that remarkable. Mr. Knight says that he searched Twitter for mentions and replied to a tweet about what happened around the fire pit. Depp's attorneys contacted him on 3rd of May after his details were provided to them by others who had worked there at the time. Heard's role in Aquaman was unaffected by Depp allegations, Warner Bros. Executive says. Amber Heard's role as Mera in Aquaman 2 was unaffected by the allegations brought against her by ex-husband Johnny Depp, a Warner Bros. Executive has testified. Depp's team began its rebuttal argument today, 24th of May, with a video deposition from Walter Hamada, who is in charge of DC-based films. In Hamada's deposition, he confirmed that Heard did have an option contract with Warner Bros. To play the role of Mera in the Aquaman franchise. Inga Parkle reports: Mr. Bonya is asked about the timing of the spikes in the use of the negative hashtags about her. 5 of the 6 spikes of hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp come after the release of the Waldman statements, Heard's lawyer notes. Mr. Bonya contends that the hashtags selected by Mr. Schnell had nothing to do with the Waldman statements, adding Waldman himself has nothing to do with the Waldman statements. He doesn't agree that hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp is a negative hashtag about her. Cross-examination of Mr. Bonya begins. Heard's lawyer asks whether he believes that people had to repeat the Waldman statements to be considered in his analysis. Mr. Bonya says he does not and he used the themes of the statements. He also says he used quote marks, therefore not including variations of tense, spelling, spacing etc., only exact replication. Mr. Bonya is then challenged about the dates of the Q scores for the other actors. He concedes they were not taken at the same time. Jason Momoa's was in the winter of 2020, not the winter of 2019 when Heard's score was taken, ahead of the Waldman